Hey guys, this is Tali Berman, and here we are on my final part 4. This is part 4 now of my Back to School series. September can be full of anxiety, full of worries, full of hopes, full of prayers for our children. And so I wanted to give you some extra support, some extra little nuggets of wisdom, some thoughts, some inspiration to help you and your child have the best, strongest start to the school year. So if you have missed video number 1, which is about helping to inform and prepare your child's staff to best support your child, go right over here, click at this link, and you will get to video number 1. If you missed video number 2, which is all about helping your child create goals for himself, that the goal setting comes from him to make it the most meaningful process, then go over here, click right here to hit video number 2, and video number 3, you'll find right down here, which is more about helping your child shine in areas outside of school. And now for part 4, which is where we are today, we're going to talk about how to help your child be most socially successful. I know this is a really important topic for all of you, how to help your child make friends and be a friend. And what I've always been amazed about is when I go to schools and I observe kids in schools, I'm just amazed how little social opportunity there actually are. There is so much focus on academics, on following instructions, on frontal teaching, that there's very little opportunity actually to foster social skills, which is primarily the primary challenge for children on the autism spectrum. So whether you homeschool or whether you send your child to school, I want to help you be able to carve out opportunities that will help your child really succeed. So not only are there not really social opportunities often at school, but there's also a lot of stimulation that can make it harder for your child to socialize, whether it be lots of noise, lots of action, lots of commotion, not quite the right lighting, not quite the right smells. And so that puts your child oftentimes in a position where he's just trying to manage, just trying to get through the day, keep all that sensory overload at bay, which leaves very little energy left to do what's most challenging and probably most important, which is playing with another kid, having meaningful interactions with another kid. So to help your child most socially succeed, I'm going to really suggest that you create intimate environments for social skills. And what I'm talking about here primarily is play dates. So when your child's at school, again, there's lots of commotion. It's a very stimulating environment. There's lots of kids. It's the most challenging environment in many ways to foster social skills. However, what I would suggest you do is to create, number 1, a more nurturing, supportive environment, which means having a child come to your child's home, a place where he is most familiar, where he's got all his own stuff, where he knows what to expect, where it's totally predictable. Even in your child's room, for example, already puts your child at a huge advantage. So having a play date in your home is one great way to do that. You also want to sort of find the right kid. So you might talk to your child's teachers and say, listen, I want to help foster social skills and develop a more intimate relationship between my child and another child. Are there certain kids you think would be a good match? Someone that maybe there are sparks of interaction, a child who you think there is a nice chemistry, or that your child's really seeking out in certain ways. And invite that child, or it could be a child that's not from school at all. It could be a neighborhood child, it could be a family member, to help really develop those social skills. And invite that child to your home so they can have intimate, one-on-one time playing together. And ideally, if you find a match that really works, I really suggest making that into an ongoing play date. Maybe once a week that child comes over, not for too long, not to oversaturate, but maybe you have like an hour play date where they have a couple of different activities, they have a snack together, and that way when your child goes to school, he kind of zoom in on that one kid. Oh, I know that kid. I know what the kid likes to play. That kid's been in my home. And a more intimate relationship can be developed. So I really want to promote having intimate home play dates with a child. And it might take a little while till you find that right kid. It doesn't always have to be the same kid, but the more consistent exposure your child has to one other child, the easier it will be for him to develop that kind of intimate relationship. Of course, you also need the parents who are going to be cooperative. So just give you a little bonus point here. Sometimes parents ask me, well, if your kid is in a typical school, should I tell him he has autism? Should I not tell the parents that my child has autism when inviting their child to play? And I think you can really go either way with this, depending on your relationship with that parent, how well you know them, how well they know your child. But you also don't have to necessarily give out the diagnosis, but you can say, you know, my child has some challenges making friends, and I know that he really likes your kid. So I would love to invite him over, you know, and give him a chance to play more intimately together so they have a chance to really get to know each other. That's it. So the big thing I think to really get here is that recognizing that school is oftentimes not the place where social skills will really be fostered unless it's facilitated in a very mindful way, and the importance of having in-home play dates where your child is not as bombarded with sensory overload, not trying to manage a group of kids, to create an intimate relationship between him and another child is a great way to do that. So if you're watching this video anywhere other than my blog, hop on over to www.taliberman.com, scroll on down and let me know what is one thing you're taking from today's video. What is one thing you are learning about how to help your child have a more socially successful year ahead? I would love to hear from you. We're in this together, guys. We are a community. Don't be shy. Scroll on down and let me know what you are thinking, what you have to say.